What's up, everybody? It's your boy Duo back here with another video. Today we're going to be going over the Diablo 4 patch notes version 2.03 that's going to be releasing this Thursday. Adam Fletcher just tweeted about this, so really I just wanted to go over some of the key points here from this patch because it's pretty beefy patch that we're going to be getting here on this Thursday. So I really just wanted to go through it and talk about it and give my thoughts. But yeah, so let's dive right in. So right away, they addressed the Cuirass Undercity. Rewards from successful Cuirass Undercity have been improved. More random items will drop. At least one legendary item is guaranteed to drop, and gold drops have been doubled. Now, my personal opinion on this is that currently the Undercity is very underwhelming, and I think that this isn't it. I don't think this is going to change a whole lot. This still feels very underwhelming. You can get legendary items pretty much anywhere in the freaking game once you get to T3, T4. Pretty much any tournament level, really, and most of them are not great unless this was an ancestral one. This might be a bigger change, but it's not. So, or at least they're not specifying that. And then I didn't see people talking about the Undercity having that much gold to begin with. So the fact that they're doubling it probably is just another nothing burger. I'm not trying to be negative here. I just feel like that this doesn't really change much. The main issue with the Undercity is that you have to have tributes, and my issue has been getting those tributes. So increasing tributes across the board would be the ideal fix to this situation, in my opinion. And it looks like they have answered that issue. They've increased the drop rate of rare tributes. Well, I guess rare ones, but even so, it's an increase to tributes, right? Increase the drop rate of rare tributes throughout the game, and other rarities are unaffected. So maybe just the rares that matter, but you know, that it is what it is. The other thing that stood out to me was the Titans tribute. Tribute Titans can now drop outside of defeating bosses. This is huge because it really sucked. It was a really weird gameplay loop, right? Excuse me, really weird gameplay loop where you would go kill a boss, get some Titan tributes, and then you run the Undercity, get more boss loots, go back to kill the bosses, get the tributes, go back, and then, you know, you get the idea. It's in a loop. So the fact that we're going to be able to get more of these tributes outside of just killing bosses, so you're not just sitting here farming 0 all day long. And one thing I noticed that they didn't address here is that the tribute of Titans does not drop from Andariel or Duriel, or at least not for me, I've never seen, but they drop from all the other bosses, and that could be intentional. I'm not really sure. You're getting so much from the Uber bosses anyway, or I'm sorry, from the Pinnacle bosses, I guess I should call them, that you know, maybe they were like, yeah, we're not going to give you more runs for this. So overall, I think the boss looting and farming them is very good, and I think that this is a solid change. So I'm very excited about this. So let's see here. The next thing we're going to talk about here is the Realmwalker. Now, this needed to get addressed immediately. I'm very happy that they addressed this. So we're going to go over the key points here that they're talking about here. So really, Edge, I don't know why you do this to me every time. I just want to view it. I don't want your tooltip. The following changes have been implemented on the Realmwalker event. Realmwalker no longer reduces spawns if one person is doing it or following it. Why are we reducing spawns if only one person is doing it? I could see this being an issue in early game if you want to go run out and do it, but if you're in T4, T3, or any of the tournaments really, and you're by yourself, this content is very manageable solo. So I don't know why they would do that to begin with. Like, I don't understand why they did that. So glad they removed it, but they should not have been in the game to begin with. Increased max spawns from 20 to, or I'm sorry, they increased it to be up to 20, and previously it was 15. If this is like max mobs, this needs to be like 100. This needs to be way bigger number. 5? That's nothing. Those are deleted in milliseconds. If you're running at least semi build that can hang in T3 or T4, those 5 mobs are nothing. So maybe I'm out of touch here, but I think that those numbers need to go way up. And I'm not considering server infrastructure and things like that, because I'm betting they would have hopefully taken that into consideration when designing this event. So in my opinion, this needs to be drastically boosted. This is not enough, but what do I know? Increase the base movement speed of the Realmwalker by 15%. This is good. Let's keep going here. Every time you kill a wave of bloodbound guardians, the Realmwalker's move speed increases by 10%. For example, if you kill all 3 waves of the Guardians, the Realmwalker will move 30% faster, in addition to that 15 base. So, on paper here, we're looking at a 45% increase in speed of the Realmwalker. While I do think this is good, I think maybe if it was like at 75%, that would have been probably the better answer, but I'll take 45 over nothing. It drastically needed to be improved. You were literally just standing around waiting to smoke a cigarette or go to Walmart, come back, or go take a dump, come back, and the Realmwalker was still in that same spot. So this is a huge W. Realmwalker now has a chance to summon a Treasure Goblin. I'm going to be honest with you, the Treasure Goblin has been mostly garbage. I don't really get excited when I see a Treasure Goblin, so this is a nothing burger for me personally. Let's see here. And they made the Hatred Rising icon from the map. They got rid of it, and now they just do like the wings with the little circle. So if you see that icon, that's when you want to go do the Realmwalker. And this is a good change because it was very confusing. You'd open up the map, you see that little green icon, you'd go to that green spot, and you're like, where's the Realmwalker? I don't see him anywhere. Turns out the event either ended or it already started, and you're just not close enough to the Realmwalker, so the little gray demon icon isn't showing up on your map to indicate where the Realmwalker actually is. And so, in my opinion, them getting rid of this is great. Massive change. It was just confusing. So, they also made a bunch of balance updates, and some of these are good, and they made a lot of changes to the Mythic Uniques, which I did not see coming, but I guess if you have a Mythic, this is a huge W for you. I don't see anything about Tyrios, which is the one that I'm currently running, so boo-hoo for me. But if you're running the Shaco, this is quite a buff. So, they made some adjustments to Tempering. They made some adjustments to Scrolls of Restoration in the Dark Citadel, which if you're running that, I haven't done this content yet, but that's good that they're adding more scrolls, so that's really good. They did a bunch of bug fixes for pretty much everything in the game. There's one that I needed to see that regarding the Infernal Hordes. And let's see here. I'm trying to read through it here. Okay, so there's an exploit going around, and maybe it'll get hotfixed because I don't see it addressed here. But basically, what will happen is, if you spend like 300 of your Aether at the end of your Infernal Horde run, and then you go back out and pick up like 1 Aether, and you go back, you can just sit there, open up a chest as long as you have 1 Aether. So they basically have a bug where the limit on the Aether, there's no limit of how many you need to have to open the chest. So they either need to fix that limit, or they need to just make that chest a one and done opening. But yeah, that's a bug that they unfortunately might get hotfixed, but they haven't patched it here. The other bug that I want to talk about, and I don't think it's in these notes when I skimmed through it initially, is that there's an issue with salvaging your aspects, where if you have, let's say you have a bunch of legendaries, right, non-ancestral, that means they don't have a GA on them, and you salvage it, and then you salvage another one of that same aspect that's stronger, you get an upgraded power in your codex, right? Makes sense. Well, right now, the way that the bug works is if you get an ancestral, so a legendary with a GA on it, and you salvage that, and it's stronger than your previous one, it will upgrade your codex. But then if you go and grab another legendary that's not a GA, that has a stronger power than the one you just salvaged that was a GA before that, it doesn't upgrade. And that is broken. So if you open up your aspects and your powers, and you're like, why is my disobedience very low? This is why. And I don't see it, like I said, I don't see it addressed here. I really wish they did that. And again, this could be hotfixed, just like the exploit with the Infernal Hordes chest. But yeah, I don't see it here. And they made a lot of bug fixes. So if you go down here and beginning of bug fixes, there's like paragraphs and paragraphs. So in my opinion, this is really, really good. And it makes sense that they're prioritizing a lot of these bugs because, quite frankly, there's a lot of people that haven't had time to even play the expansion yet or even dive into it. And some people are just taking their time. They're not blasting. They're going through the story. They're progressing slowly and normally, as normal people do. And so in my opinion, this is huge for them to be working on. This is what I would expect, right? But they're also addressing some of the stuff that are affecting the season directly. So that's really good to see. In my opinion, overall, this is a huge W patch. I think what they're doing, is really good. Makes sense that they're prioritizing those things, and hopefully, You know, we'll see those other bugs that I mentioned previously patched and hotfixed in a future patch. But as of now, that's going to do it for me, guys. Let me know what you think. I think overall this is a good patch, and I'm excited to see how they improve upon the game. Overall, I think the season has been really good. If I had to complain, I would say that class balance is way out of whack. The Spiritborn is just completely busted. There's probably a couple Necro builds that Maxroll has posted that are able to compete with the Spiritborn, but as far as like Barbarian, Rogue, or all the other classes, it doesn't even come close. And the Spiritborn is just dominating. And you could argue that they did that on purpose so that people will buy the expansion. Whatever the reason is, they just need to fix it. They need to address it and make the other, either they need to bring the other classes up or they need to bring the Spiritborn down. So whatever comes first, it's up to them to decide. Class balancing is not an easy job. I'm glad I don't have that job because I wouldn't know what to do. But anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of this patch? What do you think about the season overall? And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe. You're not obligated to, but it does help out the channel. So with that being said, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.